Good morning, fantasy, everybody. Welcome in. It is Monday, March 7th, and we are back with an episode of the morning. We hope you all are having a great day so far. Today we have a fun episode for you guys today. It's a popular dynasty debate going on right now on Twitter of who is the better wide receiver for fantasy football and in general, T. Higgins or CeeDee Lamb. And I personally have a lot to say on the subject. I know a lot of people like Akash and Spence, and many other people who I really respect in the industry have the opposite opinion as me. So I'm really interested to see what kind of feedback this episode gets. But personally, I think that CeeDee Lamb is better for fantasy football, and I think he's a better real life wide receiver. If you say that to a lot of people on Twitter right now, you'll be met with a bunch of ratios and a bunch of stats saying that C. Higgins is better because he produced more in fantasy football this season, and that because Amari Cooper left, it doesn't mean anything for CeeDee Lamb because if CeeDee Lamb's not good with Amari Cooper there already, it doesn't matter because he's not going to be better when he leaves. And personally, I disagree with all that, and I'll dive into that a bit more as the episode goes on here. That's just a bit of a taste of what's to come. As far as news and notes around the NFL right now, nothing crazy really happening right now, if I'm going to be honest. Just the most important news right now is just that, the NFL Combine just came to an end in Indianapolis. And right now people are just kind of, getting their final reads on prospects. Pro days are around the corner. NFL draft, obviously, around the corner. And that's what pretty much every GM in the NFL is looking towards right now. So that's what's going on around the NFL right now. A lot of guys had great NFL times at the Combine, running the 40-yard dash, showing out in vertical jumps, and all that good stuff. We'll dive into that in a future episode that probably comes out tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm not too sure yet, honestly, what the schedule for this week is going to look like. I know at some point I want to cover, obviously today I'm doing T. Higgins versus CeeDee Lamb. I also want to cover combines, risers, and fallers. And then I'm going to watch film on wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. So I'm probably going to do a wide receiver breakdown, running back breakdown, and tight end breakdown for the 2022 rookie draft class this week. So stay tuned for all those episodes. If you already listened to the 2022 quarterback breakdown episode, definitely go back and re-listen to that one if you haven't already. It's a great episode. I go in depth on all the top quarterback prospects, the top 6 guys: Carson Strong, Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell, Malik Willis, forgetting other people. Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder. Those guys. I might have forgot somebody there too as well, but it's okay. Just go back and listen to what I think about those quarterbacks if you're interested in my what I think as far as a scouting perspective goes. I'm not the best scout in the world, I won't lie, but I have been pretty good in my ratings of players. I'm pretty proud of the work I've been doing. So we'll keep that up and we'll keep on moving forward there. But today, let's just get into the news right now. Well, not really news. The rumors going around that T. Higgins is better than CeeDee Lamb. There's a strong argument for both sides, really. I won't lie to you, but the argument for the T. Higgins side that I personally disagree with, even though he is a very good wide receiver, I just made a trade acquiring T. Higgins in a Dynasty League, is that he's better. He's a better player, and he's produced more than CeeDee Lamb has produced less, and with Amari Cooper alongside CeeDee Lamb in Dallas, and for T. Higgins with Jamar Chase alongside him in Cincinnati. Personally, I think that CeeDee Lamb is superior as far as the talent and fantasy football threat long-term for Dynasty Fantasy Football. But the T. Higgins truthers, what they'll tell you is this season, he finished with higher fantasy points per game. He finished in higher fantasy points total. He had more yards per reception. He was a lot more efficient when he was on the field. And with Jamar Chase there long-term, it frees up him targets that are really easy in the passing game. He'll be going against cornerback 2s for the rest of his career. He'll be heavily targeted by Joe Burrow. Well, all of that stuff is true. And I do think that T. Higgins will be a top 15 wide receiver like every single year for the next 10 years probably. I think CeeDee Lamb's ceiling is a lot higher in Dallas. And I know a lot of people disagree with this. I don't really understand why. So Amari Cooper, the number 1 wide receiver in Dallas for a while now, or at least schemed as the wide receiver, for the wide receiver 1 for a while now in Dallas, is going to be gone. He's not officially been cut yet as of the time of recording this episode. The Cowboys are looking to trade him for something before they just cut him outright, but probably not going to happen. But the Dallas Cowboys are moving on from Amari Cooper on their roster because of his contract size, even though he's still a good player, because they have CeeDee Lamb. And I personally see this as a sign of good things to come for CeeDee Lamb because he's going to be schemed now as that number 1 wide receiver, and he's more than capable of taking over that role. I mean, coming out, he was schemed as that, or profiled as this dominant wide receiver 1 who can do a little bit of everything on the field. He's a dynamic field stretcher. He can run pretty much everywhere on the route tree. He's a physical, strong catcher. I think CeeDee Lamb is a perfect fit, for this Dallas offense. That's a true wide receiver 1 for the team. They still will have targets like Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson. I'm sure they'll add somebody in free agency by bringing back Dalton Schultz. They still have Blake Jarwin. They still have Zeke and Tony Pollard. I mean, this Dallas offense has plenty of weapons. I would be more concerned for CeeDee Lamb long term if he was coming into the wide receiver one role here and there wasn't really many supporting pieces for him. But that's not the case here. I think CeeDee Lamb does a great job of, making targets for himself. And I think that the people alongside him are good enough to free him up. Whereas people on the T. Higgins side are really in love with T. Higgins as a player because he's been super efficient. But I think, honestly, the reason that T. Higgins has done so well this year is because of Jamar Chase being added, which is, can't take that against him. But Jamar Chase takes away all those number one corners from T. Higgins, and that's why he succeeds. CeeDee Lamb is going to be getting these number one corners, but I'm not worried about that at all. There's some players like we saw the fall off from Juju Smith-Schuster with Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh to Juju Smith-Schuster without Antonio Brown, for example, when he fell down to earth. I don't think this is going to happen at all with CeeDee Lamb. If anything, I expect him to keep moving forward, getting more downfield targets, getting more concentrated targets. I do think his target share will rise. I know a lot of people on Twitter think that vacated targets mean nothing and targets are earned. And that is true. Targets are earned, but I think CeeDee Lamb is a good enough player where I think his targets are earned. And I think moving forward, he's going to see an increased target share. Not substantially, in my opinion, but I do think it will be an increase. Probably about 2 to 5% increase in target share, would be my guess. Maximum 8%, I guess. I'm not too certain on what the target share looks like. I'm just kind of spitballing numbers here, but the argument for CeeDee Lamb versus T. Higgins is a simple one, right? Is that T. Higgins has Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow tied to him for the rest of his career. T. Higgins will get easier targets. He'll be more efficient. He's a better red zone threat. All those things might be true. And Jamar Chase is going to be great. And T. Higgins is going to be great. CeeDee Lamb is going to be great. And the wide receivers they have alongside him are going to be great. And CeeDee Lamb is not going to have this really toughly schemed, I just think that the argument for CeeDee Lamb, for me personally, is coming out. CeeDee Lamb is a better player. Just straight up. I know we're not in college anymore. Both these guys have been in the NFL for 2 years now, and they've both proven to be great prospects coming out and in the NFL. But CeeDee Lamb coming out was by far the better prospect than T. Higgins. I graded that draft class. I had T. Higgins as first-round talent. He went in the second with the first pick of the second round. He deserved to go in the first round. And CeeDee Lamb also went in the first round of the Cowboys. He fell down the draft board for some reason that day. But what I'm saying is, I think CeeDee Lamb is the more elite athlete. I think he has a better profile. And I think that he is in a position to be the true alpha wide receiver. I mean, we saw a situation like this with Stephon Diggs when he went to the Buffalo Bills, right? I mean, this is not a team change, so it's a bit different. But we saw him as this elite level talent wide receiver too, alongside Adam Thielen in Minnesota, Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs back in the day for the Vikings. Stephon Diggs goes to Buffalo, becomes the true wide receiver one, becomes an absolute stud. I think that's going to happen for CeeDee Lamb. I really do. I think that he is a really good wide receiver in the NFL. I think he's a great player, and I think that he is extremely capable of, producing at a very high level for the Dallas Cowboys offense for many years to come. While I do have T. Higgins as a highly ranked dynasty wide receiver, I think that CeeDee Lamb's upside is just so much higher as far as the dynasty fantasy football value terms go. The fact that these guys are in the same value tier for some people in dynasty is crazy to me. If I could trade T. Higgins for CeeDee Lamb straight up, I'm doing that trade 100 out of 100 times personally. I think they're both very good wide receivers, and I think T. Higgins is capable of producing top 10 wide receiver seasons. But I think CeeDee Lamb is capable of producing top 5 wide receiver seasons. I don't think T. Higgins is capable of that, if you understand what I'm saying here. I think he has upside for more touchdowns. He has upside for more yards, more receptions, more everything. Because T. Higgins is going to have to deal with Jamar Chase being in the way. Jamar Chase is going to be the wide receiver one there. And not to say that T. Higgins can't produce because Jamar Chase is, taking all of the production, because that is not what's going to happen. T. Higgins is going to get his, and Jamar Chase is going to get his, and they're both going to get theirs. It's like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Antonio Brown and Juju and, all these dynamic duos of fantasy football wide receivers over the years. It always happens. There's always a dynamic duo that's finished both in the top 20, top 15. Every year there's always those two guys. But I think CeeDee Lamb has a higher ceiling easily here because he's going to see more targets. He's going to see more opportunities for, ceiling play. I think at their floor, T. Higgins is better, if that makes sense, because he's going to get all those wide receiver 2 targets. And I almost can guarantee you that CeeDee Lamb is going to see more targets than T. Higgins, but I can't guarantee you that those targets are going to be more efficient. The thing that I'm baking on with CeeDee Lamb is he's going to get those more how do I say this? He's going to get the more premium opportunities. He's going to be schemed as the wide receiver 1. He's going to be stepping up into a bigger role for the Dallas Cowboys, where T. Higgins is going to be the wide receiver 2, and he's going to thrive in that role. I don't think he's going to be the guy. CeeDee Lamb is going to be the guy. T. Higgins is never going to be the guy. Jamar Chase is going to be the guy for the next decade for the Cincinnati Bengals, maybe longer. Where CeeDee Lamb is going to be the guy for the Dallas Cowboys. I highly doubt that the Dallas Cowboys go out and find a better wide receiver than Jerry Jones, a better wide receiver than CeeDee Lamb anytime soon. Where the Cincinnati Bengals, they could find better wide receivers than T. Higgins. They already have one on their team. You know what I mean? And when I'm chasing upside in Dynasty Fantasy Football, I want CeeDee Lamb. I don't want T. Higgins when it comes to ceiling. T. Higgins is a great player, and he's in a great situation, and he's going to be fantastic. Don't hear what I'm not saying here, ladies and gentlemen. I think both these guys could easily be top 10 wide receivers next year. But when it comes to Dynasty Fantasy Football value, give me the guy who is a better prospect, the number 1 wide receiver on his team, not the number 2, and has a higher ceiling. It's that simple for me. That's the argument. That's the argument from my side. I understand the argument for the T. Higgins side. Trust me, I get it. Joe Burrow is an outstanding young quarterback who's going to give T. Higgins a lot of great targets over the years to come. But I want CeeDee Lamb. I want the Dallas Cowboys offense, and I want the wide receiver 1 there going forward for the long term. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is a really interesting debate going on right now in the Dynasty Fantasy Football community. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Good morning and goodbye. See ya.